Ready, rip. Praying to God, ready to rip. On my high, ready to rip. With that armor, ready to rip. Hey, ready to rip. Ready to rip. Hey, ready to rip. Ooh, yeah. Trying my hardest to stay with the best. Flexing Giannis S on my chest. Facing problems down the depths. Ready to rip. I'm correct. A fish in the water. Hit my marks. Hooking and set. Indian honest. Wearing my Hans and strapped in his harness. Ready to rip. Hey. I jump on that track. Ready to roll. Ready to rip. Ready to reach. Place my bets. Hey, you never know when playing on hopes what you could achieve. Making the goal. Peace with the soul. Don't matter the bottom with what you believe. Cause if I'm taking it all in the calling, it's harder with nothing that's harder than free. Not giving up though. Don't trip. Gotta go. Take a slip. Make a pass in the low. Put it down the gas for a show. Slide a pass in the grass for the OPO. Got first, never last for the oh no. To the pass of the glass of the FOO. Cause I'm gonna pass all you cowards with ease. And when them speeding demons come, we don't feast with the beast and the evil hunting lust. Burn your cheeks when I speak with my real passion, love. Turning all your tricks against you cause you're one and only master. Hey, God, ready to rip. On my high, ready to rip. With that armor, ready to rip. Hey, ready to rip. Ready to rip. Hey, ready to rip. Ooh, yeah. Trying my hardest to stay with the best. Flexing Giannis S on my chest. Facing problems down the depths. Ready to rip. A fish in the water, hit my marks, hooking and set. Indian honest, wearing my Hans and strapped in his harness, ready to rip. Ay. And I don't care if you don't know my name now, cause you'll hear when my old lady goes to scream out. Sunset, sunrise, 45 to shine down. Only shine is the truth to the few in power. That's why I roll with God. Middle finger, y'all. Making trust in your clicks with your demigod. Worship to the money, your material. You'll get ripped in half, Sodom cash to Gomorrah. And if a wolf ever should come across on your path, aiming straight for your goods, make a trade to his cash, fake with the woods, reflakes for your trash. Nah, you can have it, sucker. Hey, God, ready to rip. On my high, ready to rip. With that armor, ready to rip. Hey, ready to rip. Ready to rip. Hey, ready to rip. Ooh, yeah. Trying my hardest to stay with the best. Flexing Giannis S on my chest. Facing problems down the depths. Ready to rip. I'm correct. A fish in the water. Hit my marks. Hooking and set. Indian honest. Wearing my Hans and strapped in his harness. Ready to rip. Trying my hardest to stay with the best. Flexing Giannis S on my chest. Facing problems down the depths. Ready to rip. I'm correct. A fish in the water. Hit my marks. Hooking and set. Indian honest. Wearing my Hans and strapped in his harness. Ready to rip. Ay. Let's rip. Ready, rip. Praying to God, ready to rip. On my high, ready to rip. With that armor, ready to rip. Hey, ready to rip. Ready to rip. Hey, ready to rip. Ooh, yeah. Trying my hardest to stay with the best. Flexing Giannis S on my chest. Facing problems down the depths. Ready to rip. I'm correct. A fish in the water. Hit my marks. Hooking and set. Indian honest. Wearing my Hans and strapped in his harness. Ready to rip. Hey. I jump on that track. Ready to roll. Ready to rip. Ready to reach. Place my bets. Hey, you never know when playing on hopes what you could achieve. Making the goal. Peace with the soul. Don't matter the bottom with what you believe. Cause if I'm taking it all in the calling, it's harder with nothing that's harder than free. Not giving up though. Don't trip. Gotta go. Take a slip. Make a pass in the low. Put it down the gas for a show. Slide a pass in the grass for the OPO. Got first, never last for the oh no. To the pass of the glass of the FOO. Cause I'm gonna pass all you cowards with ease. And when them speeding demons come, we don't feast with the beast and the evil hunting lust. Burn your cheeks when I speak with my real passion, love. Turning all your tricks against you cause you're one and only master. Hey, God, ready to rip. On my high, ready to rip. With that armor, ready to rip. Hey, ready to rip. Ready to rip. Hey, ready to rip. Ooh, yeah. Trying my hardest to stay with the best. Flexing Giannis S on my chest. Facing problems down the depths. Ready to rip. I'm correct. A fish in the water. Hit my marks. Hooking and set. Indian honest. Wearing my Hans and strapped in his harness. Ready to rip. Ay. And I don't care if you don't know my name now, cause you'll hear when my old lady goes to scream out. Sunset, sunrise, 45 to shine down. Only shine is the truth to the few in power. That's why I roll with God. Middle finger, y'all. Making trust in your clicks with your demigod. Worship to the money, your material. You'll get ripped in half, Sodom cash to Gomorrah. And if a wolf ever should come across on your path, aiming straight for your goods. Make a trade to his cash, fate with the woods. Replace for your trash. Nah, you can have it, sucker. Ready to God, ready to rip. On my high, ready to rip. With that armor, ready to rip. Hey, ready to rip. Ready to rip. Hey, ready to rip. Ooh, yeah. Trying my hardest to stay with the best. Flexing Giannis S on my chest. Facing problems down the depths. Ready to rip. Coming correct. The fish in the water. Hit my marks. Hooking his head. Indian honest. Wearing my Honda. Strapped in his harness. Ready to rip. Trying my hardest to stay with the best. Flexing Giannis S on my chest. Facing problems down the depths. Ready to rip. Coming correct. The fish in the water. Hit my marks. Hooking his head. Indian honest. Wearing my Honda. Strapped in his harness. Ready to rip. Ay. Let's rip. Ready, rip. Praying to God, ready to rip. On my high, ready to rip. With that armor, ready to rip. Hey, ready to rip. Ready to rip. Hey, ready to rip. Ooh, yeah. Trying my hardest to stay with the best. Flexing Giannis S on my chest. Facing problems down the depths. Ready to rip. Coming correct. The fish in the water. Hit my marks. Hooking his head. Indian honest. Wearing my Honda. Strapped in his harness. Ready to rip. Hey. I jump on that track. Ready to roll. Ready to rip. Ready to reach. Place my bets. Hey, you never know when playing on hopes what you could achieve. Making the goal. Peace with the soul. Don't matter the bottom with what you believe. Cause if I'm taking it all in the calling, it's harder with nothing that's harder than free. Not giving up though. Don't trip. Gotta go. Take a slip. Make a pass in the low. Put it down the gas for a show. Slide a pass in the grass for the OFO. Got first, never last for the oh no. To the pass of the glass of the FOO. Cause I'm going past all you cowards with ease. And when them speeding demons come, we don't feast with the beast and the evil hunting lust. Burn your cheeks when I speak with my real passion, love. Turning all your tricks against you cause you're one and only master. Ready to God, ready to rip. On my high, ready to rip. With that armor, ready to rip. Hey, ready to rip. Ready to rip. Hey, ready to rip. Ooh, yeah. Trying my hardest to stay with the best. Flexing Giannis S on my chest. Facing problems down the depths. Ready to rip. Coming correct. The fish in the water. Hit my marks. Hooking his head. Indian honest. Wearing my Honda. Strapped in his harness. Ready to rip. Ay. And I don't care if you don't know my name now. Cause you'll hear it when my old lady goes to scream out. Sunset, sunrise, 45 to shine down. Only shine is the truth to the few in power. That's why I roll with God. Middle finger, y'all. Making trust in your clicks with your demigod. Worship to the money, your material. You'll get ripped in half, Sodom cash to Gomorrah. And if a wolf ever should come across on your path, aiming straight for your goods. Make a trade to his cash, fate with the woods. Replace for your trash. Nah, you can have it, sucker. Ready to God, ready to rip. On my high, ready to rip. With that armor, ready to rip. Hey, ready to rip. Ready to rip. Hey, ready to rip. Ooh, yeah. Trying my hardest to stay with the best. Flexing Giannis S on my chest. Facing problems down the depths. Ready to rip. Coming correct. The fish in the water. Hit my marks. Hooking his head. Indian honest. Wearing my Honda. Strapped in his harness. Ready to rip. Trying my hardest to stay with the best. Flexing Giannis S on my chest. Facing problems down the depths. Ready to rip. Coming correct. The fish in the water. Hit my marks. Hooking his head. Indian honest. Wearing my Honda. Strapped in his harness. Ready to rip. Ay. Let's rip. Ready, rip. Praying to God, ready to rip. On my high, ready to rip. With that armor, ready to rip. Hey, ready to rip. Ready to rip. Hey, ready to rip. Ooh, yeah. Trying my hardest to stay with the best. Flexing Giannis S on my chest. Facing problems down the depths. Ready to rip. Coming correct. The fish in the water. Hit my marks. Hooking his head. Indian honest. Wearing my Honda. Strapped in his harness. Ready to rip. Ay. I jump on that track. Ready to roll. Ready to rip. Ready to reach. Place my bets. Hey, you never know when playing on hopes what you could achieve. Making the goal. Peace with the soul. Don't matter the bottom with what you believe. Cause if I'm taking it all in the calling, it's harder with nothing that's harder than free. Not giving up though. Don't trip. Gotta go. Take a slip. Make a pass in the low. Put it down the gas for a show. Slide a pass in the grass for the OFO. Got first, never last for the oh no. To the pass of the glass of the FOO. Cause I'm going past all you cowards with ease. And when them speeding demons come, we don't feast with them. It's true, guys. It's true. This is what it's about, guys. At the well. At the well, guys. Here's Paul's going to put my yellow. Here's Paul's going to. Oh, my God. Let's go start. Oh, let's go. Oh, no. Let me do it. What the? Can't do it. Can't do it. Scramble my brain. It's not the truth. Not the truth. You people are disgusting. You're vile. You're not even normal. That's what most people would say about me. But anyways, we are definitely going to be here for the baby shark scenario. The baby shark has arrived in PA. We tried to have some kind of shark. I don't know what we would call this. I kind of feel like I'm a black penis in a white man's condom. It does not fit, okay? It is not. I can't put my head in it. It's not fitting. Does this end everything right now? Do we stop talking? Okay. Somebody said the silver spoon won BAPS. The fix was in from the get-go. Some people were trying to claim, hold on just a second. We're trying to fit everything in the right scenario. Some people were trying to claim that there was some illegal, believe it or not, activity on the 1A of Jacob Allen tonight and his amazing race car, and Bobby Allen and their driver Ashton. Some people were claiming that there was some illegal activity occurring, believe it or not. Look at this. This is right after it happened, they're like, I don't know what's going on there, Chaz, but something's up. They sent me this picture after he won. This was right after he won. They said, look at the belly of the wing. What's that? What's going on? This was obviously posted. They're like, whatever this is, Chaz, it could definitely affect how the car handles on the track. So we might need to look into this little wave here. And it's like, okay, look into it a little bit more. And the wing here, I don't know how they got this picture, but it wasn't on the car tonight. I talked to people who were at the track, talked to some photographers. We may be on one of these photographers' pages here very soon. Of course, Jeremy Zarfos is the guy I'm talking about. We may be on his page, on his podcast, on his talk show coming up here this next week, so y'all stay tuned to that. Of course, that's where the original Jacob Allen negative comment was, or defensive comment was, that we talked about on the show before Jacob Allen listened and called in to that show, which spurred into the conversation about the Kel Thomas scenario, going to the perceived rent-a-ride driver of Ashton Torgerson, and then also talking about what Ashton could do. Of course, I was saying in the shows prior to Jacob's call that, I think it'll be very interesting to see how Ashton Torgerson does out there, because this is a dude who's kind of a mid-pack guy on the West Coast. Whether he's done well in midgets or not, in a sprint car, he's kind of a mid-pack guy. And what he does on the West Coast will be very intriguing to see. And I particularly said at BAPS, I mean, we got the video right here, when me and Jacob was even talking. I had an idea that he could do very well. Obviously, what happened was way higher than the expectations that anyone could have predicted. Once again, Ashton Torgerson has won tonight at BAPS, but this is just the little clip of the proof that, I kind of thought he could do good at BAPS.
I believed that I had a chance to win, because you do, and, then it would, you qualify 25th, and you're like, well, probably not winning this thing, so we're going to move on from here.
I think you got to. I think you could do good at BAPS.
I said it, did I not? The white man said it. Shador Sanders, you better get in line. No, I'm just playing, but we actually did think that there would be some possibility for success here at the BAPS Motor Speedway. Now, I'm going to try to run through this because I want this show to be live calls. I've had Broke Joe and Spike and Justin Sanders in particularly. I call these fuckers out. That's why they don't fuck with me. Broke Joe, Spike, Justin Sanders, not Justin as much. He did chime in a little bit. They've been shit talking me this entire time. I guess here's the problem with me is, yeah, I come on my shows and yeah, I talk about what people are talking about. And even Jacob's frustration on our show, it seems like that if I come on a camera and say something and talk about something that people are talking about, it seems like for some, I instantly become the representative of the group. Does that make sense? It seems like all of a sudden I could have an opinion or talk about the topic and have a different opinion than what everybody is crazily saying. But since I'm just kind of talking about it, that means that I represent the most negative things that are being said. And it gets placed as I'm the bad guy. I'm the one with the gun, and I'm shooting away at everything. And sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I'm the one shooting the gun harder than anybody. But it just seems like when you have a relevant topic, the few people we do actually have with balls to put their opinion or thoughts on a camera get thrown into the same basket as all the basket cases that say some crazy fucking shit and are very cruel and sometimes mean, which once again, I can be very cruel and mean myself if I think a cruel and mean thing is occurring. But this is a scenario where you have Broke Joe and Spike and all these people shit talking me because Ashton won, where I got proof right here that I thought Ashton would do good in this scenario at BAPS. Once again, Ashton Torgerson just exceeded expectations more than anyone knew could be possible. I mean, this is Jeremy Zarfos' photo from Victory Lane of Ashton Torgerson winning tonight here at BAPS. And even Jeremy, not Elliott, Jeremy himself, I talked about the wing belly that people were accusing because I knew he was there taking photos. I knew he would have proof. And in denying the belly of the wing issue, which that's why I followed up because I didn't know for sure anybody's trying to make some bullshit, he also said that this was possibly the most impressive drive he's ever seen in his entire photography career. He's never seen anyone do what this guy just did at BAPS. Now, the reason I had some telltale signs, first of all, we need to give a big apology, or some people do. I don't think I do in particularly. But some people need to give a big apology, all you motherfuckers in the comments that Jacob was more so upset at, more maybe me, I don't care, but he was referencing some comments and things that people were saying, like shut down the 1A team, get out of the sport. I never said any of these things, but these are things that people said due to this Kel Thomas, Ashton Torgerson switch. You people, whoever you are, definitely deserve extreme repentance. You need to have some repentance. It's a Sunday. We're going to use some gospel language. Repentance. Which repentance is basically admitting that you did something wrong and asking for forgiveness. That's kind of the definition of the word. And y'all who said they should shut this team down are definitely fucked right now. Anyone who is critical to that degree looks like a fucking idiot as they sit in Victory Lane over your biggest stars in the PA Posse land. Now, once again, we're going to try to get quick into the calls because I know there's going to be a lot of reaction to this, but this is why I'm just going to say, first, I'm going to say why I thought Ashton Torgerson could do well at BAPS, and then I'm going to explain the repercussions that I believe are happening, and then we're going to open up the calls to, I guess, discuss the matter.
once again, posted on Facebook, shock alert, Shark Racing with Ashton Torgerson as the new driver just won BAPS Motor Speedway. Very big shock, very big one. But here is the deal. This is what I saw. And I've been to BAPS Motor Speedway. This is a beautiful picture of the facility from 2024 in March. It's a very nice facility. Posse, I like short tracks. To me, this is the closest thing that races with the short track aggression. Even better than Lincoln because the long straightaways, tight corners, up on the fence kind of driving style attitude. I've been to this track several times. But something that I thought about was how similar this track is to another track that Ashton Torgerson's team actually had success at. So this is a video clip from the West Coast last October, the Tulare Thunderbolt Raceway Trophy Cup, and Justin Peck went out there and drove a team car to the cars that Ashton Torgerson drives for. So I've already seen people say, oh, his West Coast car sucks, and that's why he didn't look good. That's why all of a sudden he looks fast on the East Coast. These cars were good. This is Justin Peck getting out of the car in victory lane at Tulare. But speaking of Tulare and Justin Peck's victory there, this is why I was saying I think he could do something at BAPS. Tulare, for one, is not like BAPS in the aspect, well, it could be, but it doesn't have the same dirt. So the Tulare dirt, very sticky, very gummy, can get rutted up very quickly. I feel like you can, the grip factor of Tulare has a lot higher. It's to the higher of the degree of grip, so you can really send a fucking car in at this track, and the track surface will hold you. I feel like BAPS is a little more sandier. It's a little more looser. It's it'll get the slick factor, for instance, has much more grip that Tulare has over BAPS. BAPS has more of a slick factor than a grip factor. Does that make sense? Than Tulare would ever have. So that's kind of the give and take of the scenario. But the big similarity is I'm going to show you a Google Maps photo of the Tulare Thunderbolt Speedway. This is located in California. This is Trophy Cup. This is where we saw Ashton Torgerson's teammate win a victory at the Trophy Cup with Justin Peck. Very, very, very great driver. And this is the Google Maps of BAPS. Can anyone tell me a big difference here? I mean, the zoom level, let's see, 200 feet. These are the exact same. Both of them are 200 feet for reference. At the bottom right of the screen there, you see a little bar that shows 200 feet. Both of these are to scale zoomed right now. And there really isn't much of a difference. We're seeing a little bit of a, obviously it's not, in its north, south, east, west geography, it is not the same, but, or navigation or atlas, however you want to explain it, these tracks are pretty much the damn same. So is BAPS the East Coast Tulare? I would promote the facility on that. But for these West Coast guys who are used to charging these corners at the Thunderbolt and risking life and limb, we even had Jacob Allen in the show reference how he feels more uncomfortable at Tulare than he does at Williams Grove, which is fucking saying something. Because Williams Grove is 110% one of the most technical, halfway dangerous tracks because they got a freaking, a kick out on the back straightaway and a 2-foot wall on each end or whatever. I mean, it's pretty intimidating. But he was saying how he feels more uncomfortable at this track. So if you can get around this facility just at an average pace, you're going to be able to get around that one pretty fucking good. And think about what I just said, average pace. This is what the PA Posse has to understand. As much as BAPS is getting popularity, deserved, this is a track where you're fucked. If you have some West Coast guys come over and BAPS becomes a big deal, or traveling people, especially West Coast people, if they're used to getting around this facility, they could potentially embarrass you at that one. And Ashton Torgerson, I would say, embarrassed y'all. You had some pretty big hitters at this event tonight. I believe Dietrich was there. And you basically had a mid-packer from the West Coast come over and whoop your ass. PA Posse. And then there's been this big debate. Who's got the best local talent and blah, blah, blah. And this is what I was saying, the Ashton Torgerson threat. We said this on the show the other day. We had commenters after we posted that Ashton Torgerson had won. Like, Chaz, you called it. I'm not trying to take that much credit, but I was saying how this is a threat. I said, if Ashton Torgerson comes over here and whops y'all's ass in this 1A car, it's going to make that PA Posse competition and how badass y'all are, and the Outlaws are coming, and it's the greatest rivalry in sprint car history, as Johnny Gibson was saying. Why is it now? Why? You got mid-packers coming in there and beating y'all from the West Coast. How strong are you? Or how strong is the West Coast? That's the determination here. How strong is the West Coast? You got the NARC series here. Looking at their website a little bit here. Click on their deal. Once again, this is just using typical analytics. So when you judge college football or basketball or anything like that, if A team beats B team all the time, and B team beats C team all the time, winners, top fivers, top tens, and then D team, or we'll say if C team goes and plays in another conference and all of a sudden beats the A team, then the B and the A team that was kicking the C team's ass is better than all of the fucking teams over there. That's what that means. That's how conferences are aligned in actual sporting events. It's based on results. It's based on rankings. So once again, we have to scroll a decent amount here to find Ashton Torgerson. Oh, I think I passed him. Wait, he's not even there. I'm sorry, I guess. He's 18th. Sorry, once again, I think we documented this. We showed this on the show the other day to make this point. 18th on the NARC tour. This is a guy who is beat regularly by the people I'm scrolling upward on. So we have to consider now, due to this situation that has occurred, that DJ Neto, Caleb Montgomery, Shane Golobic, Sean Becker, Tanner Carrick, damn, they're fucking stacked over there. Tim Kading, Justin Sanders, Tanner Holmes, Dylan Bloomfield, Tyler Thompson, Chance Gratzty, who probably is going to be one of the next best ones, Andy Forsberg, Dominic Gordon, Bud Kading, Billy Aton, and maybe Max Mitri and John Clark can do exactly what Ashton Torgerson just did. Maybe. And the reason I'm saying maybe is we'll at least give sixth and up here, Neto, Montgomery, Golobic, Becker, Carrick, Kading, and Sanders. These are people that when you line up these guys against Ashton Torgerson, there is no question who's going to win the race. No question. These are the A and B teamers here that were destroying the C. And the C just beat y'all's A. So that's the more repercussion of a scenario here is the PA Posse just got exposed. At least on the BAPS level. Now, maybe you go to your Williams Grove and all this. But, hey, they always said all these years, West Coast of California and PA's always been this debate. I feel like we need to get on some kind of Maybe we should have like a West Coast versus PA Posse kind of war weekend, and we put them on some kind of even playing ground, and we, have a race. What's more of an even playing ground than your own fucking backyard on y'all's type of dirt in a track shape that's kind of similar? That's pretty fucking even of a playing ground. On y'all's side of the country. In the second time a 18th ranked driver on the West Coast is in the Shark Racing car at a track he's never been to. I'm trying to make references here. But also his second race night in the whole fucking state of PA, I think. Outside of maybe a midget race. So, to me, like I was saying in the show the other day, this represents how off y'all are. We've had people say, we don't think PA's that great. Even people in PA. We think that they're a little lacking. They don't have the car owners, the talent. I fought for PA talent and recognition in these private conversations. Oh, no, the West Coast is just too good. They got the money. They got the opportunity for the drivers. Young people get to come in there and have opportunity and race because they spend money in motorsports over there more than Pennsylvania. Whether that's true or not, this result we just got here is bad for y'all in PA. We just had a test. We just got a test. The fan base, the dirt track community, this whole debate of Pennsylvania locals versus California locals, who's the best, just had some results come in for the test. And that is Ashton Torgerson winning. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean Ashton Torgerson is maybe better than we thought he was? Potentially. Does that mean the 1A and Bobby Allen are really good at BAPS and, you could throw a monkey in there and it could get it done? I don't know. But if that's all y'all got, we got a whole roster here waiting to get some of you. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I really wanted to say about this scenario. PA Posse in trouble. The allure, this thing of what y'all are, just got a black eye. Just got a black eye, in my opinion. All right, let's see the chat. What's the chat doing? Are you in there, Spike, yelling and screaming? PA starting to go downhill when Hodnett passed away. Wow. Dude, PA is not in trouble at all. It was one race. Let's wait a month or two. You just had the 18th ranked driver from the West Coast win. What are you talking about? Every squirrel does not find a nut. I won't buy that. I won't buy that. I'm sorry. Hold on. Now they're wanting to get cocky about it. Now we got to bring out more stats. Hold on. Let's see here. Let's pull up these BAPS Speedway results so you can figure out what the 18th ranked driver on the West Coast will do to you if he comes over. So here are the drivers that 17 other drivers plus Ashton Torgerson can beat from the West Coast. Chase Dietz, Danny Dietrich, Lance Deweese, Anthony Macari, Troy Wagaman Jr. Do we say Brock Zarfos? We kind of all knew that. Kyle Moody, Cody Hartlub, Doug Hammaker, the best Dietrich there is, Billy, Freddie Raymer, Cameron Smith, Tyler Ross, Dylan Norris, TJ Stutz, Lucas Wolf, Austin Bishop, Mike Thompson, Derek Hawk, I hope I'm saying that. Davey Frantic was there. Ryan Newton from Australia, so he got to whoop some Australia ass in the process. Who's missing? Okay, PA people, you tell me in the comments right now. Who's missing from this list that is a hitter that the 18th ranked driver has to whoop ass on now? Because we just had the 18th ranked driver from the West Coast come over and beat this list. I'm going to leave the list right where it's at because Dietrich, DeWeese, Macri, Dietz, that's about what you got right now. I mean, whether the 69K shows up with Ryan Smith, I have a feeling he still would have won. That's not a, first of all, maybe I'm still in the psyop of the PA posse, but I'm looking at this list like, holy fuck, these are World of Outlaw contenders. Is Ashton Torgerson all of a sudden a World of Outlaw contender? I mean, I don't think so, personally, but I have to reevaluate myself now of what I thought, how good the West Coast actually is. I mean, but I'm just saying, I have to truly have to reevaluate how dominant that West Coast racing scene is now. And I believe Torgerson was like 51st in NARC last year. I don't know if he ran all the tours, but his best finish on the West Coast was 7th at Chico. Ever. Was 7th. He won some 360 races, okay, locals, local 360s, not SCCT, nothing special. This is a guy who's a mid-packer on the West Coast, jumped over there and whooped y'all superstars. Oh, they're all saying it's the car? So then race car drivers truly are a dime a dozen, huh? I'm going to sit here and say, fuck you. I'm not sitting here trying to shit on the PA posse, but BAPS Motor Speedway is one of the only true driver tracks outside of, you know, you got to have a car for, you got to have a big motor for Williams Grove when it's hooked up. You know, Port, you got to have your shit together. I mean, Macri wrecked how many cars before he figured out how to drive there and be a superstar? I mean, this is the unfortunate part. I know some history. Lincoln is in that wheelhouse of a driver's track, but there's a lot of equipment-based racetracks over there where the car can truly make the difference between one guy and another most of the time. Williams Grove is in that category. These big half miles of Port is. I kind of think Lincoln is as well. It races like a big track. But BAPS is different. BAPS is a flat track. BAPS is a paperclip. BAPS is the East Coast Tulare Thunder Bowl. You have to be able to drive the fuck out of that race car at BAPS to win. You can't go in there and not know what to do into 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. The turns are too tight. There's no banking to catch you if you fuck up. You're on the wall. You're toting the bottom. It's one of the most technical racetracks in the country, honestly. It's more technical than Tulare because Tulare, most of the time, has a big, giant-ass cushion of very grippy West Coast clay, dirt, gumbo, whatever it is. You really have some grip when you get into the grip of Tulare. BAPS doesn't have that. It's closer to an ice rink version in comparison to Tulare. So I would say BAPS is probably one of the most technical racetracks in the country. Doesn't get the notoriety of the Williams Groves and the Ports and even the Lincolns, but it's still like one of the best facilities, puts on some of the best races, and is, in my opinion, one of the only tracks in PA where the driver can make the difference more than the equipment. This was my issue with Kyle beating fucking the Outlaws so bad at Jacksonville. Because it's a short track. You could throw the fucking equipment out the building if you drive the piss out of the car like Kyle did and beat everybody. So I don't agree with that notion. Now, maybe BAPS is one of those tracks, and this is not even helping the PA Posse side of things. Maybe BAPS is one of those tracks where you throw the equipment out the window and you got to drive the fuck out of that race car to get shit done. And maybe tracks like Port Royal, tracks like Williams Grove, and tracks like Lincoln, you don't necessarily learn how to do that on a consistent basis. You don't necessarily have to. We'll put the chat up there since it seems like people want to know what they say. I'm talking. You don't have to necessarily not worry about the equipment and just drive the piss out of it at these tracks. You got to have good equipment. At Williams Grove and Port Royal in particular. Lincoln's kind of the outlier. But I'll tell you where you got to drive the piss out of a motherfucking race car night in and night out, and you better get used to it, or you're going to be 18th in points. Or fuck, you could be 20th. You learn how to drive the piss out of a fucking race car at Silver Dollar Speedway. You learn how to drive the piss out of a race car at Tulare Thunderbolt. You learn how to get all you can get out of that race car. You got to drive the shit out of it at Merced and Ocean Speedway and Antioch and all these different facilities, Petaluma. These type of racetracks on the West Coast are not equipment-dependent facilities. And even though you may have to have good equipment to compete, if you do not fulfill the role of driving the shit out of that race car, you're not going to win. And even when you do drive the shit out of that race car, you might finish 7th at Chico. These racetracks on the West Coast, combined with the amount of money, as some will say, that are being put into the facilities, and somebody just said it, Jacob in the Go Cup. Yes, he did. There's some good drivers, good cars. I'm simply saying, you have to drive the shit out of these race cars at these facilities, and if you don't, you're not going to succeed. Whereas Williams Grove, I think sometimes Port Royal, if you got a good race car, it can make up for 50% of what everyone else is lacking. When you get on those big-ass straightaways and you ain't got XYZ equipment, you ain't going to be able to go around those tracks properly, no matter how good the driver is. Now, I'm not saying you still ain't got to drive the piss out of these cars when you're heading into the corner at 140. Still takes a decent amount of skill. I'm just saying, I don't know if they're most of the time as extremely aggressive, reliant in attacking the corners as they are in California. I don't know if there's any other scenario where that's actually possible, actually. Out of all the local regions, you could say Huset's and Knoxville, but Huset's race is like a half mile. Knoxville is a half mile. I mean, PA, it's the big track stuff. You got to have the good equipment. The driver can only make so much up. That's kind of what I'm saying. It's more equipment-dependent facilities, more so than driver-dependent facilities. But you go to that West Coast, and if you do not drive, you will not have success. The short track scenes do that to you. And then you add the aggression, and then you add the amount of talent, and then you add the amount of money. 18th ranked driver on the West Coast comes and wins BAPS tonight. This was the shocker I was worried about. I thought that's why he could do well at BAPS. And honestly, it shouldn't, going forward, at this point, especially at BAPS, going forward right now, West Coast drivers should feel extremely comfortable winning any big race at BAPS. In fact, BAPS, out of, this whole debate of West Coast and California, we need to have a race and see who's better. BAPS is the facility to host that event at now. If there's a big $10 or $15 or $20,000 race at BAPS, if there's any West Coast drivers available, I would highly suggest any Pennsylvania investing car owner to try to acquire those services. Because you got an 18th rate driver, just put it on the best fucking drivers y'all got over there. On that facility. But we're just saying, that means there's 17 other guys that could have put y'all's guy. Hell, I mean, some of y'all's guys could have been in the B main and not made the show if all those other guys were there. That's what it sounds like. That's what it looks like. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to open up the lines. We're looking for our next caller. Oh, we already had one that's missed. It's a PA person. Oh, no. This is Bab. A PA person. Let's see here. We got a 717. I missed your call. I'm sorry.
Hey, this is Jeremy.
Jeremy Elliott?
Zarfos.
Oh, Zarfos, the photographer. You confirmed that he was not cheating with the wing. That is true.
Yeah, that's correct. I actually just inboxed you a picture of it in time trials.
Okay. But you did see the photo I sent you, which I don't know why Torgerson's tagged on it. Regardless, you were there tonight at the track. How impressive was that?
I'll be honest, that car is good at BAPS. I've seen Jacob win there before and had good results. But I've never seen anything like that in a long time. The closest thing might have been Gio winning at Williams Grove, when he was the youngest Williams Grove winner at one point. Like that was a great car. He was in the Bernie 71.
Yeah, but he came from the C main, right?
No, I think he had a perfect night that night. Actually, I think he went.
Okay,
he swept the night, if I recall. That was really impressive. It could be on a totally different level than that because it is BAPS. It is a driver's track. I was listening to the show and. Danny's phenomenal.
So you don't disagree with what I'm trying to say there is in the difference of it's the driver's place, It's not as equipment dependent as the other ones.
Yeah, I think Lincoln would be the next closest one, if not, on that level. It's very difficult to win at as a guy who's never been there. And it has a track record of being difficult to win at if you've never been at Lincoln. But this was unbelievably impressive, and he was good all night. He timed well. Heat was really good, and that car had amazing forward drive. There was a restart, I don't know, halfway through early, and he was in the lead. Ashton and Troy was second, and on that restart, he just drove down the front stretch and had 25 car lengths by turn one. It was just very, very impressive. That race car was hooked up. He did his job through lap traffic. I mean, he's a young, inexperienced guy, and Chase Dietz was behind him trying to run him down in lap traffic, and he closed the gap a little bit with dirty air, but it was very, very impressive.
Now, I did make some drawing of comparisons. I don't know how much you listened. I feel like the West Coast drivers are a little more aggressive. Did he have that kind of attack mode as far as driving the track, or was he kind of chillaxed? I feel like BAPS, you got to be on attack mode. That's my point.
It was so impressive that it did not look like attack mode, if that makes sense. The car was very stable. It was really good. He mentioned about making a few mistakes and cleaning some things up, but, when he threw a slider, the car looked good. It never looked out of control. It never looked like, he was hanging on to it. It just looked down in the racetrack and driving forward. I didn't see any of that over driving or having to feel like that. If anything, I thought Chase was probably having to drive the car harder than us and looked like he was driving the car.
Do you think that, and I don't know if you saw the pictures, I put the web up earlier, the Google Maps of the same, and this is why I thought that, there's one of the tracks I think is very similar, and it's pretty damn close. I put up the Google Maps earlier of Tulare and BAPS at the same scale, and these tracks are these things are almost identical. And I feel like Tulare, it has a better or higher grip level than BAPS. So that's kind of what I was trying to say here is I feel like if you're used to sending the fucking car in at Tulare, which in honesty, if nobody's ever been there for qualifying for the Trophy Cup, it's one of the most intense experiences you can have in your life. I mean, the track's never perfect. There's a bump or two in 1 and 2, and if you do not send that corner in there willing to junk your shit, you're not going to perform. I feel like BAPS is not as extreme. I feel like I said it earlier. I said it, just as much as more grip that Tulare offers with their dirt, y'all offer more of a slick package. So it's going to slow down. It's not going to be as quick. And I thought that would play a big factor into potentially him having success because it's basically Tulare, but it's a couple miles per hour slower. So you could think a little more, No.
I don't know. I don't see it. I mean, I'm just being honest with you. I don't know if I see it the same way. I think BAPS it's a unique animal. Slick straightaways, the corners shelve off 2. It shelves off a little bit in the middle, 3 and 4. It's not similar banking. The corners are different.
Track shape matters.
Kind of narrowish. I mean, the general shape is there, but listen, I think you just said it right. You were showing stats. He's the 18th best driver in California. So does it really matter if he's the 18th best driver at Tulare to come in and win at BAPS? I mean, I don't know if they really kind of correlate. This was an upset that will be talked about for a long time.
So you think Ashton is just that superior? That's all I was trying to say is, like, there has been this debate between Pennsylvania and California for a while. They've always talked about trying to get on some kind of maybe a PA California race weekend. If you bring a guy in like Ashton, who technically is somewhat of a mid-packer, best finish in a 410 7th, and he comes in there and beats y'all, that has to say something about what else is over there talent-wise.
For sure. Why wouldn't it? I mean, I've thought of that for a long time. I mean, there's tons and tons of untapped talent out there. With the right opportunity, what could it do? And where could it go? And I think we've seen glimpses of that over time at guys from the West Coast get in a car short term. Justin Sanders, we know what he can do out west. The Swindell ride when he had a little bit of time. I mean, everybody's been talking about him for like a touring ride forever. That's not his ambition and goals, it sounds like. But California, man, it's no slouch. And I don't know. Maybe, you know, I'm a PA guy through and through, grew up here, watched it my entire life. I'm deep in it. California's got some amazing talent and race cars and what they do and the people that the drivers they put out into the major levels of auto racing is no joke.
And then some of them that stay, you know, that aggression level, I feel like is a big deal. And that's why I think, you know, I would assume that a BAP style track would benefit a driver from over there, because it does take a bit of aggression to, you know, sling these cars into these corners on those. I mean, it's a tight facility. You know, Lincoln, you know, even Jacob said it in the interview the other day, you know, Lincoln kind of races like a big track. It has a sweeping kind of corner. You could straighten it up. I feel like with how flat BAPS is, you really got to be aggressive but technical at the same time. I think the short tracks teach that driving style a little better.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there was some comfort level there from the start for him. But we can speculate all we want that what worked, but he just put it all together from beginning to end. And honestly, last night at Port Royal, he was quick in warm-ups. He was quick in in time trials, and he was quick in his heat. They admittedly, Bobby Allen actually on Sprint Car Unlimited with Jeremy Elliott, or other Jeremy, did a little interview already post-race. It's on YouTube. And he said, we admittedly screwed the car up last night. We got it wrong for him in the feature. He did a good job, you know, and then he comes back tonight, backs it up, and he's fast from the jump again. And
wins. Against the and the list, I hadn't looked at the results, but everyone who's anyone was there.
It was 43 cars. 43 cars is the highest car count for a local show this year anywhere. And if you're going to have them, you had them tonight. You had Chase Dietz and Troy Wagaman and Danny Dietrich and Anthony Macri. Dietrich had to come from the back. He went plus 11 there. Macri a little bit, but, you know, Lance a little bit. But these guys had all the same chances in the world to go up and take control of this race. And Ashton from the jump. I mean, they had a...
He was the dominant car, you're saying.
The dominant car. Chase was close. In lap traffic, Chase got close, but never had a realistic shot to make a pass. He just didn't. And Danny had a torn up front wing from lap 1, so I don't know. He still passed a lot of cars and was being very aggressive. I think once he got up to the two best cars, it was a little bit leveled out a little bit. But I'm not playing the shoulda, coulda, woulda game here. Ashton kicked our ass, and it was impressive.
And what was the line like? Was it bottom, top, or was it both? Or
the fast cars were on the top.
Okay. Well,
for sure, it was a top dominant track. At least 3 and 4 was. I was in 3 and 4 most of it, but as I watched it go around, it was top for the most part. The 1 and 2 was a little more bottom.
A little more bottom. Was Dietrich on the bottom?
He was on the top of 3 and 4. I can tell you that. I don't know in 1 and 2. I was kind of just focusing on my corner a little bit.
Okay, and you were getting some great shots there, obviously. So what do you think this means for y'all over there?
Well, from the interview with Bobby Allen, they don't know what next weekend is. They have not made a commitment to him next weekend. They want to go Eldora. They have Knoxville. Eldora, and then they come back for, you know, Outlaws at Lincoln and then Williams Grove. And from what Bobby Allen said, they have a roster and a list of drivers, and we'll see if the next guy says yes. So based on that, I don't I don't know if he's back in it next weekend.
I mean, come on. We
mean,
can't have the days of our lives on this thing. I mean, you can't have a guy win the fucking race. And hold on. Did they not already see what happens when a guy ran okay and destroyed 2 cars and the reaction on getting rid of him? I mean, you can't come around and have the guy fucking win and then put him out either. I mean, I did say that Jacob Allen cracked the code on the show the other day because usually these topics come and go 4 days and they're over with. But I mean, if they wanted to extend it, that'll definitely keep the headlines turning.
I mean, common sense would tell me that he's back in the car next weekend, but they made a commitment to this weekend, and at least they were public about it. Last week when Cale got in the car, there was no weekend deal. It was here's our
Supposed
new
to be a
driver.
commitment.
Here
Yeah.
we go. And there was, I mean, this weekend at least it was Ashton from the jump kind of said, excited to go racing this weekend with the team, and it was all about this weekend. Sure, could it change and should it change? Yeah, I think the kid obviously earns another shot, but if he brought money, was it money for a weekend? Is there more money? Like, how's that conversation go, right? We're not there. And
Was it a
frankly, I've been
tryout
told
fee?
to shut up all week. Yeah, I mean, well, frankly, I've been told to shut up all week. It's not my business, so, what do I know?
Well,
So,
what do you mean by this? You are the person with Jacob Allen that came on the post and he got all mad, right? What was that post all about anyway?
I hated how it was handled. I mean,
So you were on the
it's a
Kel
racing-
Thomas side. I did my video where I felt like I related it to like a future with a relationship or a woman or something, and she ends it and you're devastated. I felt bad for Kel.
I mean, Cale made a choice. He had a ride, made a choice. He made a choice. This was an improvement over my situation. This feels like the right thing for me. He made a choice that he's going to live with. But and obviously hindsight's 20/20. You're going to look back and go, "Oh, that wasn't the right choice," clearly. But the whole thing for me was looking at it, and it's just me, but it didn't sound like a weekend commitment. It sounded like we're going to go racing. Here's our schedule. You're our guy. And then it wasn't. And it felt like a check came along and they used the accidents and wrecks as an excuse to get out of it. And
That's what somebody was saying if the Ashton deal was already in the works prior, and that's why.
That's what the vibe was I got, and that's the vibe that Cale kind of felt. I mean, he had to feel some kind of way about it, right? I mean, he doesn't know, but at the same time, that if that's in the works and there's the easy way out, you're out of here. So it just felt like this business is a performance business and a winning business. It doesn't feel like that with that car a lot. It feels like, just don't wreck it, please. I don't care. If 5th is fine. 20th is fine. Don't wreck my race car. That's not the typical speech about racing. It's a meritocracy. We're going to go win a race and we're going to do what we can do. Yeah, you don't want to tear up race cars. No one wants to do that. But just park it if you're uncomfortable. Just park it if you're not feeling good. That doesn't sound like a normal way to do it. And that's their way. But listen, I'm not there. We weren't there. I hope that was a conversation with Cale, and don't do that. Okay, then if you earned it, you earned it. You're out of here. But it's a people business too. This is a people business, and I think you even mentioned it, and I mentioned it on our show. Probably most of the people on my photos page don't watch our show because I was a little more harsh on our show than I was over on my page about the situation. But like, how many people, if you're a competitive driver and you want to go in there and win races, are going to have a second thought about it in the future? Yeah, the list is long right now, and there's a lot of drivers that want to be behind a wheel. But if you're a guy who has an accomplished career, you get in the car to win races, period, end of sentence. How are you going to feel if you're pushing and you wreck a race car and then you're out?
Well, two nights back to back is really what was bad, I feel like,
The one was bad. The Williams Grove wreck tore up a lot of shit.
Well, I feel like the Lincoln one was worse because he was on his own. It wasn't a wall sticking out. It was late in the race. I feel like that one was almost more impactful.
I mean, impactful for principle or money, because it was a top wing at most.
True. Well,
Jacob
said bad vibe.
So,
I mean, I'm sure you watched the video of us talking. I mean, he said it was a red flag. So.
Well, literally a red flag. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The Williams Grove one was pretty rough. You don't see that very often. Misjudged the barrels there, but at the end of the day, all this crap aside, it's a good race car. Like, Cale was running up in the top 5 in Lincoln. He went 16th to 10th at BAPS the week before in the first race. He was in the top 5 running with Lance DeWeese when he hit the barrels at the Grove, and he was inside the top 5 battling with Chad Trout for 5th or 6th at Lincoln. This is a good race car.
Yeah, you're saying that Ashton Torgerson's good, but this car is really good. This is an outlaw-ready team.
I don't know about all that. I think it has enough speed to compete at that level. I don't know if it's an outlaw-ready team, but hey, listen, maybe it's going to be better with other drivers in it going forward. It's good enough to run with anybody. I'd say that right now. I don't know how long or how often or where they go, but it is as good as it's a very good race car right now.
Okay. Well, I don't want to keep you all night. We got to make our show a little more entertaining. We got missed calls coming in left and right.
You got more your chat section is more entertaining than me, man. Have a great one.
Oh, wait till Spike shows up under his alias of, the ghost of Kevin Ward Jr. the other night. That was insane.
Oh.
Did you see that?
I did, and yeah, we've screenshotted that and passed that around our Discord a little bit. It kind of had a few chuckles.
Oh, God. That Spike guy, he's the trash of all humanity. In the Bible where they dictate Jesus and the devil, he is the devil. 100%.
Have a great night, brother.
Okay, well, thank you for calling.
Take care. Yes, sir. See you.
So that was Jeremy Zarfos. He was there as a photographer. We are going to open up the lines, but the first thing we have to do, you obviously have noticed that we have our Miller Lite in our hand, and the Miller Lite in our hand equals a pee break. And we're going to do a pee break right now with the Late Model Princess song. Hold on, we'll be right back to take the next call, but enjoy the Late Model Princess as we take our first pee break of the night, brought to you by Miller Lite. Assholes.
Sails, yeah. Oh man, with that body riding, late model princess, yeah. We don't play around, yeah, that ain't no doubt. We just send it in the corner, live, live it out. No, them Fender girls don't understand it all, yeah. Ain't no hesitate. We just make it pay. Paint them cushions in those corners. No, it isn't safe. But for my sake, will you save it all? 'Cause you'll do the same to my heart, yeah. Late model princess got me going crazy. Yeah, she got them wings and never wing it down. Late model princess, yeah, she makes me listen when they're dirty. Yeah, they got you hot and bottom. Late model princess, yeah. Oh man, with that body riding. Late model princess, yeah. See, I like that Dan, you know what you are, I know what I am. You a little late model star, and I'm a spring come here. You float the middle size, I'm gonna take your time and blow it. I'm a little bit of ghetto with that, send it then you'll know it. And I gotta get to going now, gotta catch me that eye. My mode is always slide or die. It's all the seas, the moment's time, but while the clock keeps ticking by, you keep on talking on my mind. I'm contemplating situations where you could be all of mine, 'cause you're that late model princess, got me going crazy. Yeah, she got them wings and never wing it down. Late model princess, yeah, she makes me listen when they're dirty. Yeah, they got you hot and bottom. Late model princess, yeah. Oh man, with that body riding. Late model princess, yeah. My late model.
Oh my. Late Model Princess. He doesn't have the Late Model Princess shirt on today. Oh, no. The lines are open, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, no, we already got one coming. 416 area code. Where's 416 from? Okay. Oh, no. Hello. You're on the line.
What's up, Chaz?
Oh, it's the Clark.
What's up, buddy? You coming to Canada? What's going on?
Do you know that Spike and Broke Joe were all salivating over you earlier tonight?
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were talking about you and your wife, because I guess they're really jealous of how hot your wife is, because they make fun of you all the time. No, look.
Oh,
We're
'cause
gonna put. This is literally from Jordan, which Jordan is always
Oh,
trying
my
to instigate
God.
Tim Crawley to fight me. It's kind of weird. Look, this Jordan guy is weird. Look, hold on. He'll send me pictures randomly of like Tim Crawley with
'cause
Landon.
Yeah.
Look, he'll send me pictures like this. He's like, Tim
Oh, my
Crawley's
God.
coming for you, Chaz. I'm like, I ain't worried about it. I got freedom of speech on my side. Hey, man, God is my protector. And then look, he sent this. Look this is what he sent today at 9 o'clock tonight. He's trying to make fun of you. Look, he sent you and your beautiful wife. And they're just like, I guess Spike and everybody is salivating over you and your wife. I don't get it. Jordan also said that this is my pregnant PA wife that I won't claim. Look at this person. I don't know what this looks like. But he's like, you got an Amish woman pregnant, Chaz. You need to go and take care of your wife here. But they are salivating over your wife in particular. I mean, take credit where it's due. I mean, I'd tell Spike, I'm like, yeah, he got a girl like that because he's not a piece of shit like you are, you motherfucker. But I mean, that's the wife right there. I mean, he is all about it, Clark. I mean, he's all about.
Yeah.
They are salivating over the gumpture that you're able to provide. I guess.
Yeah. 5 kids later too.
5 kids?
Yeah, dude.
Is she Amish? Fucking 5 kids. Hold on, they want me to smoke a cigarette. Give me one. We don't have to.
Yeah. People ask me if we're Amish or not Amish.
After you told me there's 5 kids, I feel like I need
sorry.
a cigarette, Clark. I mean, come on, 5 kids?
Well, I think you know why we have 5 kids, right?
Well, she's kind of hot, so I'd keep going at it too forever. But
Yeah,
continue.
exactly. Anyways,
So that means you
let's
were
get into the
impregnating
topic.
her for 10 years straight, Clark? What is wrong with you?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey man, I'm looking at the pictures. I ain't gonna be as nasty as Spike, but I will say you're doing a great job, and they're jealous of your success with the women. You know, because Spike's a piece
I'm
of shit.
jealous of myself.
Well, I would be jealous of myself too. I may touch myself twice a week, but what I'm saying.
Listen, Chaz. Let's get to the topic of hand. You know, Spike can fuck himself later, right? Like it's all good. Okay, let's take a step back here, right? Tanner Holmes.
Okay.
Why did Tanner Holmes all of a sudden have success in the 21 car?
Why did Tanner Holmes have success in the 21 car? Is your question?
Yes. Because he was not.
I think
it's
a really good car. I think Drew Warner's halfway underrated. It is Ricky Warner's relatable. So
right.
But I also think that family ran teams aren't necessarily always the best on the track.
Exactly. So you take a talent like Ashton Torgerson.
He's had good West Coast sprint car rides, Clark, and the snow cars won a trophy cup. Continue. I'm sorry.
But here's the thing. If the kid goes to PA by himself, you get a different kid.
I don't know. I really do think that on a track like BAPS, that PA is kind of behind on how to drive it. That's my honest opinion. I honestly think you could take the 17 other drivers ahead of them in the NARC standings, put them in the same style of equipment, and they would be right there with them and probably in front of them.
I think what's pissed me off the most is I've seen Torgerson drive from a very long time ago.
Yeah, because he's a 5-time national karting champion, right?
He did very well in karting in the right hand. And then me personally, my thought process when he went dirt track racing, I think things kind of they went well, and then they started not going well. And now that he's now in the 1A car, I really think that somebody like a Jacob Allen and a Bobby Allen could be the saving grace for all 3 sides, to be honest.
So are you trying, and look, I mean, obviously I have my personal issues with the Torgerson regime because he tried to fight me over saying he didn't get his belt on in the Tulsa shootout, or Chili Bowl rushed him on the track. So I got my issues with them personally. But what it sounds like what you're trying to tell me is that you saw this guy in karting because you're in the elites of the karting world, right?
Right.
And you saw a guy who you might potentially see as like, oh my God, this guy is 5-time national karting champion. He's going somewhere. And then he gets in the dirt, and that going somewhere goes away. And you're
Right.
like, how did that happen? What happened?
Well,
And you're saying now, you're like, he finally got into a ride that's enough to match his talent. Somebody just asked, did the snow car ever win a 410 race? I don't think so. But they've been dealing with Torgerson, so it's hard to judge. I mean, Peck did win a 360 race at Trophy Cup. I think that's hard. But is the snow racing organization on the West Coast Tarleton? I no.
definitely not.
Is it Selzy? Is it Sanders? Is it Kading?
No.
Is it any of these things? No.
No.
So you're basically telling me you saw this guy coming, and you kind of know the talent that is there, and this guy might actually be better than that full list of PA drivers, or even the West Coast drivers in the right situation.
Just give the kid an equal opportunity.
Okay.
You know, just give him somewhat close to equal equipment.
Well, he did do a full year in midgets. He's had really good midget rides. He's had some success, but not nothing that's flashy.
But there's politics in the midget stuff, and I'm not going to say things. And there's reason why some top tiered people are not running midgets right now because of the politics, even within the TRD camp.
Okay.
They're saying, screw it, I'm not even going to run it because there's only 2 or 3 good cars. And if you don't get those 2 or 3 good cars, don't even go.
So that's the word on the street, even in the renter world.
In the renter world, it's whoever pays gets the most, gets the best.
Well, but then you also have your chosen few. I think that's where you're talking about the politics, because there are 2 cars.
Chili Bowl's different.
Hold on. There are
Chili
2
Bowl's
cars.
different.
Hold on. There are 2 cars at KKM that I've heard are the house cars, and those are kind of on the house from TRD. And if you get into one of those cars, it's one of those special kind of cars. Kofoy was in one of those. Jade Avedisian was in one of those. I believe Ryan Timms was in one of those, and they had extreme success in midget racing because they were in one of those. You're saying it's kind of like that across the board. There are maybe a team's bringing out 5 cars, whether that's CB Industries or KKM's bringing 10. There's still 2 or 3 cars in those stables, or 1 car that is the primary. This is the one that can do it.
Ask yourself why one of TRD's next, Christopher Bell, just gets handed a TRD motor and says, go wherever you want.
Somebody just said he killed it out there in micros. I didn't see that. I mean, I know he won a shootout.
Thank you.
I know he won a shootout, which is extremely tough to do. But I didn't see him killing it in the micros, really. But I mean, he wasn't Frank Flood. He wasn't some of these guys. I mean, he wasn't like dominating the micro world. He wasn't Facentos or anything like that. I'm just saying. Let's put it this way. He wasn't dominating micros, like dominant, but you could see that there's some solid talent there. Right.
You know, could it have gone a different direction? Potentially, if Kyle Busch and his whole Rowdy Energy thing didn't go south, you know, because they did tag along.
Yeah, they partnered
and help
with
him a little
Rowdy
bit.
at the beginning, right? Torgerson did.
And then Rowdy went tits up when they got sued, right? So.
What do you mean? Explain.
Just look it up. It's public knowledge. Like, why did Rowdy Energy all of a sudden go away?
Hold on. Let me rephrase. Why did Rowdy Energy Drink go away? I ain't really seen it at all. What happened?
Lawsuits, apparently. I didn't really dig into it, but it was lawsuits related.
Over what?
It
was a really good energy drink.
and-
I actually enjoyed it. The year I got kicked out, Kyle actually gave me one, and then I got kicked out 2 hours later. But Rowdy, now you got me looking into it.
So the lawsuit filed in May 2023 in California, federal court alleges that the company, Rowdy Power Burn product, falsely advertised as having no preservatives.
Ooh, I think I'm pulling up the same article. That's not
Yeah,
cool.
misled consumers.
Hold on. Being a fat person who went skinny and now I'm comfortable and happy, kind of, but I need to get skinnier. When you claim that your shit is clean, but it ain't, that's a big fucking deal.
Oh, it's like Prime Energy, the same thing with regards to how much caffeine.
Prime Energy is different. There's two different things to Prime Energy's claim, because there's the rejuvenational Prime Energy and then there's the Prime Energy drink. It's two different things.
Oh.
They have one that's like a Gatorade and they have one that's like a Red Bull. So it's two different entities in a way. The product is two different entities. So, but Rowdy Energy was not. And they did run a campaign, because I remember talking to Kyle about this. It's pure, it ain't got none of this shit in it. I think he even had a few videos come out where we're really proud of it. We did taste tests and all that, and keeping these things out is a big deal to us. If they were lying about that, that is like, the demise of the company. And thinking about that, it's like, where did Rowdy go? Rowdy Energy, where did you go? I haven't really thought about it much, but if this is why, that's crazy.
It's crazy, yeah. But back to the whole Torgerson thing.
Well, the only reason we're bringing this up is because Torgerson was a part of this. Yeah. Explains decision to shut.
He was sponsored.
I'm trying to get some quotes.
Yeah.
Rowdy Energy just kind of shut down and closed shop. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. We didn't get the rebuys and the resells of everything to keep it on the shelves. So you're saying this is he's lying here. So it wasn't worth putting good money to bad and made the decision or the business decision to let it go. I hate it. I really wanted that to work. He's saying it didn't make sense, the rebuys and resells. This is what I'm talking about with media all the time. It's such a lie. Because the real truth, it sounds like, is they got sued for lying about their ingredients in their drink. But you didn't see that in that article I just showed you. They don't talk about, well, in this article, it doesn't say, well, we got sued and we lied about our ingredients and all that. As far as the legal action that was being taken against Rowdy Energy, Kyle Busch says it was not a factor in closing the brand. No, actually, we were talking about shutting down in April, May, or something like that, and then all the lawsuits came in December before it closed because we were just trying to get rid of the rest of the product and that we had in stock. So it is what it is. We will deal with it. Legalities are legalities. I don't know about that. That doesn't make sense, does it? Because I thought they had a really good product. It was properly branded. They invested money.
The Rowdy brand was fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like Rowdy Burns. Like, come on.
Yeah. Well, Days of Thunder once again, but.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, but you do know in Days of Thunder there was a cocky asshole in a blue and yellow 18 named Russ Wheeler, and it sounded very similar to Kyle Busch and the M&M car. I'm just saying, it sounds very similar. I'm just saying. And Cole Trickle was driving for Rowdy, all right, and Kyle Larson was driving Dale Earnhardt Incorporated in Ganassi. Just saying.
Yeah.
And the driver switch was Jeff Gordon and Juan Pablo at Indy, right, with the F1 car and the NASCAR vehicle. And then the driver switch was Kyle Larson for Juan Pablo in Ganassi Earnhardt Racing, right? Just got to throw a tidbit in.
Say that again.
I'm over here smoking cigarettes, Clark. I really don't care what you're saying. You're a piece of shit. Bye.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
I don't care.
All right, back on the topic. Go to it.
I think when somebody said in the chat, what the Stowe cars never won a 410 race, right?
Yeah.
And and somebody called the 1A the Frankenstein car. That's a little mean.
That is a little mean. I mean, I know Jacob Allen looks weird, but you ain't got to call him Frankenstein. Do we need to get a picture of Frankenstein up to show y'all how mean you're being right now?
Yeah, seriously.
Maybe if Frankenstein was 20.
Who knows? Maybe Jacob Allen could be, the nice version of Cody Jacobs, right? Who knows?
Yeah.
Right? In a couple of years. potentially, if he wants to be.
It
right?
sounds like that's his ambition, is to take over the team eventually, too.
Well, he has to. Somebody has to. His dad's 80 years old.
Right.
Right? Or who knows? What happens when Jacob Allen has the 1A car rolling like a mofo? Don't you think Logan Schuchart's going to be like, dude, I want to go win an Outlaws title. Can you help me? Right?
Now here's the problem.
Who knows?
I mean, I get what you're saying, but here's my bigger problem with this Shark Racing deal. We just had Jeremy Zarfos on the show. He's a photographer who was at the track. They're referencing the Sprint Car Unlimited interview, and apparently they're not committing to Ashton Torgerson. If you do not commit to Ashton Torgerson after coming out there and doing what he just did, I don't give a fuck if the next driver comes in and wins the race or the Kings Royal World of Outlaws. I am anti-Shark Racing. If you ain't got that amount of rewardance and respect, I'm going to call this a respect move. Motherfucker comes over, whether he rented your car or what the fuck ever. He comes over first time in PA Posse land and wins the fucking race, and you don't put him in the car the next week. We got a problem in the respect department. I'm sorry.
I think it's just media being media.
Apparently Bobby said he already had plans for something else, I guess. Fuck you. We won. Winning's everything. Hey. Kel Thomas had plans. Wrecking the car changed those plans. Well, maybe Bobby Allen had plans, but winning the fucking race changed those plans.
There's no way. There's no way that Torgerson doesn't do the next 60 days in that car. There's no way.
They're after the win tonight. That's not the case. They're saying it. What are they saying? Hold on. They're going to Eldora and already have other plans. That's the quote.
Oh, who are they going to put? Pittman?
Ain't nothing for sure said at this point, but
okay.
Once again, hey, you had plans to add Kel Thomas in the car, and he flipped the fucking shit up, tore it up, and y'all made changes real quick. Okay, so if you can make real changes in the direction of getting rid of a guy, then you can also make the changes real quick of putting a guy in the car. And I think that a guy coming into PA and doing what he just did is, I'm defending Torgerson and all his hatred, that should equate to we're changing plans, he's in the car.
Okay.
I don't care if you got Darren Pittman.
Whoa.
No, I don't care if you got Darren Pittman.
Well, I do.
Darren Pittman I don't think Darren Pittman would have won that race tonight.
No, but we're not talking about BAPS. We're talking about Eldora.
Well, our racing can help him. I'm just saying, Clark.
Well, he's probably been to Eldora in the midget, right?
I'd have to look that up, but I don't know. If he's been there in a midget, then the fear factor's definitely not there, because that's the scariest event I've ever seen in my life.
The fear factor's not even there, dude. He flew out of a fucking race car, and he just won in a 410. Do
you think that's good or bad? I was going to ask you that, Clark. Do you think what happened at the Chili Bowl was good for him or bad for him?
Well, I think you and I understand that he believes in God, because he wouldn't be doing this if he didn't.
Well, if he don't believe in God now, then he's definitely fucked, but continue.
What I'm saying is, obviously, he is someone of faith, because there's no way somebody can survive that and not be someone of faith. And also get back into a fucking 410 and, after 25 events, win a 410 race.
He's definitely not worried as much of getting hurt in the car as, say, Jacob Allen, apparently.
No, because he's young. He
flew out of a race car onto the track, and that's why. I mean, honestly,
if Shark Racing does something, I think that this is probably the best combination right now.
Right?
Or shit, maybe this is a perfect example of why didn't Roth run the second car?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Dude, the
You know, and that's
biggest,
what
I don't
sucks,
know
Chad,
what,
right?
I don't know how stupid Flow Racing is, or Kyle or Brad. I don't know who to blame on this. But for you to, here, this was the home run scenario for High Limit, for Flow, for Brad Sweet, for Roth Motorsports. If you would have rolled out a second fucking Roth Motorsports car to claim your franchise now, I won't say charter, and you would have put Jade Avedisian in that fucking car, that is the Haley. I can't believe they allowed the Haley Deegan of our sport, and way better than Haley, by the way. I'm just saying, I can't believe they lost on so many angles in that scenario. Jade Avedisian in a Roth second car on the High Limit Tour this year, there's no expectation. She's a rookie. She's thrown in it. Would have been the best fucking thing the world could ever see, because I think Jade could have probably done something in a sprint car. I think she's possibly the only one female driver that could have done something. The only one. And it was perfect.
So,
claim the fucking franchise and roll on. If she sucks, okay, go to NASCAR then. But if you want to make sprint car racing bigger, that was the fucking kumbaya home run lottery ticket, and they fumbled it out the fuck. I got the live audience right now saying yes. The biggest, hold on. If High Limit fails, the biggest blunder in High Limit racing history is what I just explained. And she's a Toyota driver.
yeah,
Biggest
but
fumble
who's Haley
ever.
Deegan?
Biggest fumble ever. Somebody said Kaylee Bryson. I don't give a fuck about Kaylee Bryson. I seen her already fail in 360s against guys in a fucking modified trailer in a dually. Kaylee Bryson can't do what Jade does. I'd like to see what Jade can do, though. I ain't got a question mark with Kaylee no more. She ran fucking 14th or 10th at the 305 Nationals at Belleville. She won a Silver Crown race because the leader of Brady Bacon, who was out front by 6 seconds, broke. I don't give a fuck about what she does. Jade Avedisian, though. Different story.
Do you know why? Do you know what's probably one of the main reasons why Jade Avedisian is not racing High Limit in a 410?
Safety.
No, not just safety. But how many concussions has she already had from the freaking midget?
Well, midgets are dangerous. Midgets are way more dangerous than a sprint car, in my opinion. Talk about no room to go anywhere.
She has the chance of making $20-25 million in the next 10 years.
The chance.
Dude, it's happening. She's going NASCAR racing with Toyota. It's a done deal.
You're for sure on this. I mean, I have some inside sources that were telling me the inside source is dead at this point, but the inside source was telling me actually a little before this time last year that their family was tapped out of money and they don't know what they're going to do. You're saying this was developed over the last. The family goes from we don't know what we're going to do to we're 25 millionaires in a year.
No. Here's the thing. TRD has money to go racing, but that money is limited on some of these kids. Okay? So there's only so much money to go around for these Toyota kids, and Jade has picked the pavement route. And she's only going to be able to do what Toyota provides. And if she keeps winning in a pro late model right now, which
means nothing, because Corey Day won in a pro late model and he can't even keep up in ARCA. So winning in a pro late model means fucking nothing.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Corey Day's the biggest fucking. I don't know if he's doing it on purpose or not. It's the most disgusting display of racing talent I've ever seen. What he's doing in ARCA right now. He's the biggest flop since fucking Dave Blaney or something. I don't know how to compare it. I don't know what to say.
You can't compare the two. because one's in tier 1 and one's in tier 3.
Well, yeah, I understand. Dave Blaney would have won a lot more races if he wasn't in Bill Davis's fucking 22. Corey Day's in the best race car on the track, and he's running mid-pack in ARCA. But my point, I'm not trying to degrade Corey Day because I think he's better in a real race car. Regardless, Jade Avedisian winning pro late model races don't mean shit because Corey Day's the example.
But it's all Jade can afford because Toyota's picking up the bill.
Okay, so this is what I
Toyota?
try to explain, Clark. Listen to me real quick. Just real quick. Just a minute of maybe me rambling.
Go ahead.
NASCAR comes in today's world. 20 years ago, 10 years, 15 years ago, they came in trying to get talent and put them to the front of the pack, like Larson, like Bell, like Tony Stewart. They came in and did that. Now, they're not doing it for that purpose, Clark. They're coming in here, and when they see us develop a fucking star because they see the popularity of dirt track racing getting big on its own organically, like me and Tony Stewart talked about, they see it growing legs, and they're paying attention to who's growing those legs. Oh, well, the dirt fans are really hyped up over this Corey Day and Jade Avedisian. Oh, my God, young talent. Oh, my God, young girl talent. This is what the music and movie industry does as well. When the music and movie industry sees a local band, for instance, that could be better than the bands they have on the radio, the big record companies will come and offer them a contract that is way more money than they're making. They'll sign them, and this is an old term. You may not know about it. They'll shelve them. They shelve the threat to their industry and their already established marketed drivers or musicians, and that will protect their main investment. So that's what's been happening since Larson, all this. I mean, they stole our fan base with Larsons and stuff, but now what I think they're doing is shelving our potential future superstars while building Ty Gibbs and building Bubba Wallace. I'm simply saying this is how business moves are made when you're looking at it from the marketing media perspective. Because if Jade Avedisian and Corey Day were running the High Limit Tour right now, what else are you watching?
Here's my fear, right? I look at things from a historical lens as well. What talent has Hendrick Motorsports developed?
Raja.
And they've made it to Cup.
Raja's coming, right?
Dude, I don't know.
The black guy. Or is Kyle coming, the Asian guy?
Well, here's the thing. Who developed Kyle Larson?
Toyota. Yeah. That's how Bell got in.
Developed,
correct.
How did Bell get in?
Bell got
Toyota.
in because Kyle left.
Yeah.
But
Hendrick Motorsports has not had a driver development driver make it out of the Xfinity Series and into Cup.
Okay.
Every single one has failed.
The black guy's coming, Clark. What's his last name? Raja Ali or something? It's like from Street Fighter and shit.
Raja Cruz.
Raja Cruz? Like Tom Cruise?
Caruth.
Oh, okay.
Raja Caruth, I believe. Listen, Here's the thing. Okay, so he's on the Truck Series right now. Cool. Wait till he gets to the Nationwide Series. Way harder than the Truck Series.
Well, and then the Cup Series is 10 times harder. You know,
right.
That's what Larson was saying.
So here's the thing, right? I swear, Jade Avedisian, probably one of the other main reasons why she's not going to race, midgets or even a wing sprint car is because the chances of getting hurt at this point in her career and the trajectory that she's trying to achieve, it's better for her to go with Toyota, to go learn some road racing skills and go to the pro late model stuff because it's what Toyota is paying for.
Right.
If she had an extra $500,000, she'd probably be racing some sprint car stuff.
Right.
But it's probably not in the cards. And also just the chance of getting hurt, just like another prominent Toyota driver has the opportunity to do a lot of stuff, but they're not doing it because the potential on the contract value is not worth it.
Right. So it's basically like the 9-to-5 worker. Potentially, he could lose his job and you'll be homeless. Over here with the rich sugar daddies, we got your security, we got your money. Here's your Escalade. Just drive around and you'll be cool. So she's chosen to pick security in life, is what you're telling me.
I think Jade earned it to this point.
Yeah, she earned it. She did a great job. That's what the rich guy agrees. He agrees. I'm not saying she didn't earn her right to be in the sugar daddy perspective. I'm just saying.
But to be honest, it would be nice because, like, for example, Cletus McFarland, right? And
my God. Why are you referencing Cletus McFarland?
Because 500,000 people watched his ARCA race on board. 500,000 people. That's insane.
Okay, Tanner Holmes.
The ARCA race on TV had 200,000 viewers, for God's sake.
Yeah, it's probably the number one viewed race that NASCAR's had this year. Online.
The most double. Because he did Daytona. He only did 19 laps in Daytona, and 1 million people watched that.
Wow. Okay.
It would be nice if some of these drivers actually harness social media a little bit better.
Yeah.
And that goes for the dirt track world, too. Look at T-Mez. T-Mez has got more subscribers than freaking all of the Outlaws added together. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, but T-Mez doesn't back it up on the track, so...
Yeah, but people like listening to the shit he's got to say. And T-Mez is going to end up on a fucking full-time tour in a couple years, and everyone...
You think so?
How the fuck did that happen? Yeah.
Okay.
Probably.
I will bet you he don't.
I'll take that bet. I bet you
there's some things happening on the backside of the T-Mez situation that in the political damn game of the sport that doesn't like T-Mez.
Yeah, half the sport doesn't like him.
The politics of the sport do not like T-Mez. For the right or the wrong reasons, I'll say. There's some actual reasons you should not like him. But...
I probably don't disagree with that. But at the end of the day, it is what it is.
Right. The more so issue is they don't want an older person representing it. That's the issue.
Oh, fuck.
It's all about the age. It's all about the age.
It's all about the age.
That's why, yeah. Clark, do you think it's weird that they financially bankrupt families of kids that are 14 to 16-year-olds and their only hope in life is that some rich old man is going to come in and save them? That's a creepy fucking scenario, Clark. That you're depending on some rich billionaire to come in after your family's bankrupt, spend every dollar you can on your kid's dream, and then some rich person's supposed to come in and say, hey, I can save you. Bring your little girl or boy to my house and we'll make a deal tonight.
Rick Crawford situation. That's fucking scary.
Epstein situation. But they've been doing it in music and movies forever. I'm just trying to figure out who's got the baby oil. Is it Denny Hamlin? I think Denny Hamlin's got the baby oil. And Kyle's in there baby oiling with them. That's what I fucking think. They're having a baby oil bath. Baby shark do-do-do-do-do-do.
I can't wait.
They're in there swimming, Clark. They're in there swimming. They're going deep diving tonight. Scuba.
I can't wait for the day I can't wait for the day for when Kyle grows some balls and punches Denny Hamlin in the fucking face.
He's never going to do it. This is why I truly think that Kyle and Denny Hamlin have an actual relationship. First of all, hidden heterosexuality and homosexuality is prevalent in the elites of the world. I mean, look at all the fucking rock stars back in the 80s. There was like half of them were bisexual at the minimum. I think most of these people who are even dabbling in this world are at least bisexual. I mean, Caitlin's kind of hot.
Is Spike texting you right now?
What
Like, are
I'm
you
saying
reading
though,
what
Clark.
Spike,
What I'm saying
Spike
though,
is
Clark.
texting you?
Clark. Every time
Oh my
something
God.
happens with Kyle Larson and Denny Hamlin, Kyle's always defending him. Always. You remember the radio communication when Denny Hamlin fucked him over and the crew was like, hey, you need to say something to him. He's like, shut the fuck up. Leave me alone. He's all being a little crybaby in there, you know. But why are you defending him? And apparently they go shopping together at the markets. And we play our pickleball. Oh, yeah, I know what kind of pickle you're balling. I'm just saying,
God,
Clark.
Chaz.
I'm just saying,
Come
Clark. No, don't hold back. No, I'm just saying. See, I'm adding shit up and you want to deny it. Why is Kyle Larson yelling at his team when Denny Hamlin fucks him over and he's like, oh, leave me alone? Why? Outside of a baby oil scenario.
No.
Now, you don't. You're from Canada, Clark. You don't understand. Down here in the South. Oh. Squeal for me. You ever heard that? What's the Deliverance? How's it go? I'm just saying, down there in NASCAR land where they got their old tree.
Are you bringing your ass to Canada or what? Are you coming to
no, he put the Canada curse on. See, he had to change subjects. He don't want to admit it, ladies and gentlemen.
Are you coming? Is Clinton Jeffries, is he going to give you passes? Like, what's going on?
I don't know.
You got to make a phone call here?
Oh, he's getting me one. All right. I mean, I in my mind, at least, I'm attempting to impede myself into Canada very similarly to how I think Denny Hamlin impedes himself into Kyle. I plan on running it in there hard, you know, and not letting up.
Oh, my God.
Not letting up.
God. You gotta be kidding me.
What do you mean? I don't know. I'm going to try to go across the border. We'll see.
We'll see. You won't have any fucking... As long as you got a passport,
Hold on, here's
you won't
the
have
question.
a fucking
Speaking
problem.
of Denny Hamlin and Kyle and, you know, bisexual, if I come over there, can I sleep in the same bedroom as you and your beautiful wife? No?
No.
What? You're denying me. I will wear a Chaz hat.
Hey, you can sleep in the house next door. You can sleep with a 78-year-old woman that needs some attention.
I mean, hey, age ain't nothing but a number. What's her titties looking like? No, anyway. Oh, God.
She's a half corpse.
What did you just say?
She's a half corpse.
Well, I don't know what that means. I'm not trying to get in some lobotomy.
Pretty close.
Oh, God. So no, does your wife have any friends that are going through a divorce right now that may hook up with a fat, overweight American? I'm just saying.
Yeah, we got one.
You got one for me. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
All right, I'm definitely going to Canada, guys. We're going. We don't know how we're going to afford it. We got like $100 to our name right now, Clark. I fucking put it all on the line. Broke Joe took me to the other level. PayPal, Venmo links in the description. We're trying to make it to Canada.
Hey, your dollar will go much further because our dollar is shit. It's like $1.40, so it'll go 42 cents to the good.
What is a 51st state party? What is that?
51st state party?
Oh
man,
my
you gotta
God.
go to Alberta.
We're in a room right now full of Trump bleeding Americans. And they think that y'all should become the 51st state in Canada.
Oh man, if Trump would just recognize our equal dollar for dollar, I'm in.
So you want Trump to take over Canada?
Dude, if Mark Carney becomes prime minister tomorrow.
Wait, y'all have elections?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Tomorrow is y'all's elections in Canada, really?
Yeah, so well, here's the thing. If Carney gets in, Carney's pretty close with China. He got a $250 million loan from the Chinese Communist Party. and he's on the chair of Brookfield Asset Management. It's pretty much our BlackRock. of
Oh
Canada.
wow.
Yeah. They
So
own
if that
one of the
guy
major
gets in, basically
oil
we're going to
pipelines.
war with Canada. I won't be able to come to the sprint car race.
You guys will annex us hopefully in a heartbeat because all of our military people are trans. So
Really?
it'd be pretty easy. Oh, dude, it's bad.
All
Like,
of
you
your
guys think
military
that
people are trans. He just said this on the show, ladies and gentlemen. What?
It's bad. It's bad.
What are you talking about? They're not all trans. That's not possible.
The only ones that have balls jump out of airplanes. The ones that don't just fucking they don't even know how to shoot a gun.
But I swear I saw when I was a kid, Clark, I swear that there was like this really influential show with a moose and a mountaineer, and it was like a bullwinkle or something. There's no way that guy is all of a sudden trans. There's no way.
Bro,
that guy, mountaineers. Do you have mountaineers still, Clark?
Mark
Not
Carney,
mountaineers
who
like
might be our-
Brokeback Mountaineers. I'm talking about like mountaineers, you know, with the fucking red shit. They look like Russians.
Bro. So our soon-to-be prime minister's son is trans.
Okay. That's okay.
Okay.
So you think that this guy is going to win? You think he's going to win?
The media, the government-controlled media up here says he's going to.
Do you know how
But
much
every
they said
single-
that Hillary was winning in 2016?
Dude,
The fucking
I
TV
hope
said it was a landslide, Clark. Sorry,
do you
Chad.
know how I tell my liberal friends to shut up? Is I tell them that I'll pray for them and they shut the fuck up.
Oh, you put that God on them and they don't know what to do, huh?
I'll just say, you know what? That's okay. I love you. I'm going to pray for you on Sunday. And they shut the fuck up so fast. Love it.
Who is the competitor for this Joe Biden of y'all's regime?
So all of the left call him the Donald Trump Jr.
Really?
Pierre Poilievre. Yeah.
And
Because so get this, Chaz. Nearly 80% of our oil that we take in Alberta, we take out of the ground, goes to you guys in the United States.
Okay.
80%. We sell it at a 78% discount.
Wow.
So you guys, instead of it being, sorry. So let's just say it's $100 a barrel. You guys get it for 78.
So 20%, 25% discount.
Yeah, but you guys pay us in Canadian, not American, so it's even worse. So here's the funny thing, right? So the other 20% we use, and we also sell to some other markets, right? But very little. Our pipeline goes from Alberta down through Michigan, gets refined in Michigan, and comes to Ontario and Quebec.
I feel like we have to give a visual to this scenario. So we have the Google Maps out. Alberta, so that's PA. Alberta, Canada. That's way the fuck up there, ain't it? Yeah. Edmonton,
Dude, it's
right?
far. Oh, yeah, you don't want to live there.
Yeah, there's nothing up there but grizzly bears and mountain goats that y'all salivate and bestiality with. So after you touch goats and drill oil, you're saying there's a pipeline that goes from there all the way. You said through Detroit?
Through Michigan. Down through Michigan.
What?
Yeah. And then comes back through under the lake and to Ontario and Quebec. Line 5.
What?
Yeah.
No way. We're talking about like 3,000 miles here.
So get this. So see how stupid our politicians are. So our provincial politician.
We're gonna do a little map here.
Like a governor.
Hold on. You said
Just
Detroit. You said, and then you said Quebec, right?
Yeah. So Michigan all the way through Ontario and Quebec.
Oh, come on. All right, hold on. New York. So we'll rearrange this properly. Edmonton, Okay. So that is a 420-kilometer trip. And that's what
From
you're
where?
saying. It goes, well, from Edmonton. So does it come, it must come across through North Dakota.
Yes.
Okay, it does. And then it goes, you said it goes through the lakes, probably right here where it goes through the lakes,
Yeah.
right there at Chicago. Or Sheboygan. Oh, of course, you fucking Wisconsin bastards. I bet you it goes across at Sheboygan to Grand Haven.
Yeah, Wisconsin down to Michigan and Michigan across.
Wow. So there's a pipe out there that white men have constructed, and the women hate us for some reason, but...
we decided to take it to go through the United States instead of going through Aboriginal lands and enriching the Aboriginal people. But no, we prefer to keep them poor.
You're saying Aboriginals, the same tribe from Australia, Aboriginals?
The Aboriginal First Nations people in Canada want 80-90% of the people want oil pipelines going through their land so they can become rich.
So this is like casinos. Y'all's casinos are the fucking pipelines.
Yep, exactly. Look at it. Why is it, Chaz, that the UAE and Saudi Arabia people are literally trillionaires? These people are trillionaires because they're able to get their oil to market.
Right.
Why can't we in North America, Canada, U.S., Mexico, get our oil to market? Why?
Exterior influences.
And guess who's one of the main contributors of that? Our future Prime Minister, Mark Carney. He owns pipelines in other countries. He owns an insurance company that insures coal miners in the United States.
So really, this election tomorrow in Canada is going to influence the entire demographic and economical and whatever you want to call it, geopolitical scenario of the world. In a way,
it's going to affect you guys. If Carney gets
anything that affects America is going to affect the world. That's how it's always worked. We're the consumer market.
Well, yes, but if Carney gets in, Trump's going to have to hit the nuclear button because China's on his doorstep.
You say nuclear button. We're going to nuke Canada based on the elections tomorrow.
Dude, it could be done in 48 hours if you guys just came up here with some fighter jets and just took us over. Like, please.
Well, see, I've always worried that y'all would align with Russia. People don't understand how close Alaska is to Russia. It's like right fucking there. This is actually where they considered.
Here's my question.
Well, this is the area. Hold on, before you continue. This is the area. It's called the Bering Sea Straits. So you see Bering Strait on your screen here. I've actually done a lot of world history study. So they believe that, people in the Native American land and the Asiatic Oriental breed of people, I don't know if that's offensive in today's world, they actually came across right there during the Ice Age in the Bering Sea Strait when this all froze. And it actually created a bridge. And when the Ice Age was over, the next time that anyone ever connected to this entire land was when Christopher Columbus came over. But all the people came down here and became the Native American tribes of North America. They were originally people from Asia and Russia and Mongolia. Obviously, the Mongolians raped and pillaged the entire fucking world. But that's what people believe in this scenario, and that's how I kind of learned how close in proximity that Russia was. I mean, this is really not that much of a... So this stretch right here is 5 miles from Russia to Alaska, which is why the Americans wanted to take control of Alaska, because they saw Russia as a part of the SSR and all the situation, or USSR, sorry, and all the situations over there. But Canada's right there. Here's the saving grace. Okay. So nuclear weapons, the way that they are designed,
okay, for them to make the flight, okay, they have to.
They got to have proximity. This has always been my
They gotta
issue.
they got
If China aligns with Mexico or Russia aligns with Mexico and Canada, we're kind of in that fuck position because we could have a external threat of nuclear weaponry from China or anybody, but it's just too far of a distance. But if they could get within proximity, that's the threat.
It's too far, and it would have to leave Earth's atmosphere,
Right.
and then come
We
back.
would have too
in
much
for it to
time.
reach.
Yeah, exactly. So you have to align. If you really want to take the United States down, you need to align with Mexico or Canada, which is why I saw an issue with Trump going after the two nations, because you're provoking that activity. You know, when you start talking shit against Mexico and Canada, and even though y'all's governments are so much smaller than ours, all you need is for this other bitch to walk over here and say, hey, China or Russia, hey, we like you. Here's how we're going to fuck them up. Come and align with us, and we'll just blow your shit up, you know?
Here's what's scary. If you do some digging between Mark Carney and Brookfield and Trump, it's scary.
Well, and this is my problem with the United States. This is my problem with Canada. This is my problem with this entire fucking map, is I don't really see any of these things as actualities. I kind of think we're in 7 sectors of control. Our politics and our military is just a front. I think that there is a much larger entity above our national geographic scenario here that is actually controlling all things. And there's still a war, there's still a battle, but it's not necessarily based on these mapped representations. And I think that's what you're kind of saying when you go and dig into seeing who's actually aligned. These are just words on your screen, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So you're saying this guy coming into Canada, this Canada election is going to dictate the future of the world.
Yeah, like people thought Orange Man scary. This is even scarier.
Okay.
This like, let's put it this way. If Carney wins, I'm going for political asylum at the border.
You're going to be a U.S. citizen come next week. But Trump's going to stop you because fuck you, we're done with your immigration, fuck you, no asylum.
No, I wouldn't do an asylum. I'm joking. I would actually, I would work on trying to get citizenship in the U.S. because I'm fucking done.
Well, you definitely need to bring your hot wife with you when you do that, and then Spike will steal her.
Spike can't even fucking... Come on. Spike doesn't even have a car.
I mean, he's got a truck. I've rode in it, but he got mad at me when I turned down his gay advances. Regardless, this election tomorrow is very important. There's a pipeline that apparently is like 4,000 miles long or 4 kilometer miles long. 4,000 kilometers long.
Longer, but yeah.
Oh, well, it's always. I know, Clark. You told her that it's longer.
So, no,
yeah,
look at this. Look, you know the Colonial Pipeline?
No.
The Colonial Pipeline in the U.S.
No.
Look it up.
Where's it from?
Look it up. The Colonial Pipeline in the United States. Who acquired the Colonial Pipeline?
I mean, I could Google it, but Google lies.
Brookfield Asset Management, Mark Carney.
Oh.
It's one of your largest pipelines. Brookfield just bought it.
Oh my God. The truth is here on the screen, guys. He's not lying. $9 billion.
You guys are fucked. Guess who has Donald Trump?
The acquisition was announced on April 4th, 2020. See, this is my issue with mainstream media, Clark. They come out here, they talk about terrorists, they come out here with their fucking side street shit, with their P. Diddy's and their fucking, oh, well, this person's going down and we're going to get them and blah, blah, blah. And really, this is the business that's actually fucking happening that you don't see on your CNN and Foxes and your fucking Alex Joneses. They fucking cover for this shit.
Why do you think why do you think Trump's kids and Kushner is not involved in this round of administration?
Right. They know. They see the game. They see the game.
Who needed a loan for their bad investments, and who bailed them out? Who bailed out the Kushner? Brookfield Asset Management bailed them out.
Wow.
So Jared Kushner's brother is invested in Stripe, and Stripe's about to go
The payment
public.
processing?
And Mark Carney was on the board since 2014, I believe.
What's this guy's name again? How do you spell it?
Mark Carney.
Is it with a C because you're so
C-A-R.
cool?
Yeah, Carney. He's also his wife is
Well,
went to school with Ghislaine Maxwell.
M-A-R-C.
No, MARK.
Okay, so it is Mark. Okay.
Yeah, CARNEY.
Carney.
Mark Carney.
Well, they already got him listed as the 24th prime minister. Is he the current one that's listed?
Yeah, because fucking Trudeau stepped down, and then they get this. So they sold the most party memberships ever in the history of the Liberal Party. 400,000 memberships. Guess how many were allowed to vote?
I'm guessing they were dead, like the ones we found.
210,000 were only eligible to vote, and Mark Carney got 160,000 of the 210.
Sounds
Very
fishy.
odd. Yeah.
And
But
who's
they kept all
the guy
money.
who could save the day? What's his name?
Pierre Poilievre.
Pierre. How do you spell that?
Pierre.
P-I-E-R? Oh, it's already popping up.
Yeah.
It says he was the 15th prime minister. So this is the guy. This is Donald Trump Jr. And you're saying tomorrow, when this election goes down, this is going to determine the future of the world. Technically.
It's if let's put it this way, in the history, in the last probably at least 50 years that I've looked back on, there's never been a time when you guys were conservative and we were conservative at the same time. It's either been one or the other every 4 years.
So you're saying the
It's
system's
never
going to
been
make
the same.
Mark Carney the leader.
If history repeats itself, we have to stay liberal. Yeah, Joe Biden was an anomaly.
In more than one way.
Yeah. You know,
Joe
like when you
Biden
guys had
honestly was the
Obama,
greatest proof in the world that we don't need a president to run the country.
When you guys had Obama, we had Stephen Harper, who Pierre Poilievre worked under when he was in the administration. And Canada, our dollar was the same as your dollar.
Yeah, Australia's in the
par.
same boat, yeah.
Shit. Absolutely fucking shit. So, anyways, let's call it, say a prayer. And
For the world.
For the greater good of the world. And hopefully liberals either don't go and fucking vote tomorrow because they think Mark Carney's going to win, or they fucking, take off their trans dress and say, you know what, I'm going to grow up today.
Well, I feel like what you just said is important for the audience to hear. You got a bunch of bums like Brian Hubert and losers in the comment section. I mean, the world, these Brian Huberts, they wouldn't survive if the world went the way it could tomorrow, according to you. They would be so scared. They don't know what war is. They don't know what life and death is. They just hit somebody in a parking lot and knock them out, and they think they're cool. They really don't understand how bad this could go. They really don't.
Dude, if Carney gets in, Canada will not. There's actually
They're going to align with they're going to align with BRICS.
The Canadian government put out a study at the beginning of this year saying that if we continue on our trajectory, there will be a famine in Canada by 2040.
Yeah.
We have 2.5 million people a month out of 41 million people going to the food bank.
Wow. That's big.
Every month.
Wow. Yeah, and if your government's in that position, they're going to make big moves. Are you going to align with NATO and Trump and talking all his fucking shit, or are you going to align with BRICS and they're rising? I was talking about BRICS 4.5 years ago because I saw the manipulation of our media trying to create a common enemy. You know, the left was saying Russia's the problem. The right was saying China's the problem. And I'm like, wait, anytime you need to go to war, you need a common enemy. So eventually, if they could come out and say, hey, there's this thing called BRICS where Russia and China are both the bad guy, that's how you're going to enable the communities to fight the war. That's how you'll initiate a draft, is if they can have a common enemy. And I was talking about BRICS 4.5 years ago. Nobody was talking about it. Then the national media started talking about it. Then everybody knows what it is because they've been manipulated by mainstream media. It's so sad to see how quick it is. And to know that we're basically on the brink of economical war, which Trump's been conditioning his fan base to get ready for that. And the left has been doing the same in combating Trump. Once again, both sides play one another.
So
it's scary.
So get this. So in the last 10 years of Trudeau being in power, guess how much in percentage our GDP has grown?
Oh, 1?
0.97% over 10 years.
Wow, not
Our
even
GDP
1.
has
Almost.
grown.
I was close though. 0.03.
If you factor in inflation, if you factor in a lot of these friggin' carbon tax shit that we got to pay, we're actually at a negative 3%.
Wow.
I talked to a good friend of mine who owns multiple businesses, like hardware stores. And I asked him, I said, how long have we been in a recession? And he said, my numbers say that we've been currently in a recession for over 2 years.
Wow.
And I'm like, why isn't anybody talking about this? He's like, I don't know.
Nobody wants to, the media is such a lie. I mean, that's the problem, even the conspiracy-based ones.
My friend who owns a big commercial roofing company, he says, hey, is the commercial real estate having a fire sale right now? And I said, I don't know, but I can make a call. Why? He says, because there's a $10 million building that has a little bit of contamination on the property, so it's only worth $6 right now. And I'm like, okay. He says, the guy's doing a fire sale and he wants $4 million.
Wow.
And I'm like, fuck, you should jump at it. He's like, interest rates are 5%. I'm not going to buy it. He got a call back 48 hours later saying that the building sold for $3.6 million. The guy took $180,000 loss.
Wow.
I called my uncle. I said, hey, question, are you working any fire sales right now? And he's like, why are you asking? And I'm like, because I'm just wondering if the fucking commercial real estate market is collapsing. He's like, Clark, I'm working 6 fire sales right now that if they don't sell in 60 days, the bank takes the buildings. I'm like, what?
You're talking about
like,
mass corruption and taking over all economical sectors.
Chad,
technically.
We are in a fucking massive recession right now, and we don't even, like, we're not even admitting it.
Yeah.
The housing
Complete
market
denial.
in Canada is about to crash. It's about to crash.
And this
People who are
election
paying
tomorrow is going to be very interesting. Clark, I thank you for tuning in, but people do want to call in. I'm sorry. I mean,
Yeah.
We made the
Don't worry about
importance.
it.
We'll be paying attention now. I'm sure our viewers are going to be paying attention here, the live audience. But thank you for calling, Clark. I don't care what these naysayers say. They're full of shit.
Later, dude. Bye.
All righty, thank you. All right, so that was Clark. We are going to be taking another call, but before we do, thanks to Miller Lite, we have to take a pee break. Just real quick. And we got a song for you. We got a song this is my song to Brian Hubert. This is my song right here. It's called Malibu Barbie, you little bitch.
top or the cars that I cross, yeah, I'm gonna need you. Let me show you where to go, how to run it in hot and what it leads to. I promise that the show I'm gonna put on will really please you. Come June at any yacht, Barbie doll on the spot, come see me Malibu. And